in the Hall of the Mountain King replayability review and playthrough.
So today we're going to play In the Hall of the Mountain King. Is a game for 2 to 4 players. If you have the expansion or the Kickstarter edition, you can play solo and co-op as well. Today we'll be playing the 2-player game. It's a double-sided board. We will be playing on the 2 to 3 player sided board.
Absolutely. So, first thing we have to do is we have to pick our starting trolls, and then we can get into the game. So the way you do that, you have your cards, you keep them in a pile, you take the top 2, you pick one, so you're card drafting, choosing one to keep, and tossing out the next one. And you continue to go. There's one card that you do not look at every time, so you're not guaranteed to get all of the starter cards that you want. And then we will show you the next phase in just a moment.
And as well, the objective of the game is to try to move these statues as far in as you can towards the center of the board, typically, because that will get you the most victory points. It's a victory point based game, but that's pretty much what we're both going to be trying to do. Is we're going to be building routes with the Tetris style pieces, trying to work our way into the board, trading resources, building up our trolls, which will help us gather additional resources and work these statues up in towards the center of the board.
As well, depending on the part of the board, you may need picks to work your way through. So it's not just resources. Sometimes it's resources plus a tool in order to get you where you want to go.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's pick.
So for your starting characters, you have a... If I shouldn't be looking at them, I'll reshuffle them. You get to choose 4 trolls to start. You have to grab 2 cards from your starter deck. It's the same for every player. And then you select one, then you add another one to your hand. You just kind of keep going your way through that. Now when you put these in, each starter card will have a item at the top and then a line, an item at the bottom. When you place it down at the start of the game, you get the item at the bottom. In the future, when you activate your little troll tower, you get the item at the top. I'm going to choose that. Goes in your hand, the other goes away. Okay. So for my bonus, there's going to be a lot of reaching across the board. Can I bring this over here?
Why don't we just put it right in the middle of us?
Is that going to fit? Okay. So I get 2 of these. Are these, you know the names of these, correct? Should have looked that up before we started.
Rubies? I'm not 100% sure, so we are going to go with iconography. Or we can
pull down the book.
Pull down the book and we can tell you what they are. We have Heartstone. We have Iron, which is the black. And we have Stone, which is the gray. We have Runes, which are the gems. We have the hammers. And we have the coats and coins. So this is the Kickstarter edition. So the resources are made out of plastic and actual shaped wood versus just cubes.
No. They have shaped wood as well.
Not for the cube. Oh. Not for the resources.
Okay.
And the money is not metal in the game. We have these really adorable little player markers that move around and count our victory points, whereas those would just be discs in the regular game. Our statues are all made out of plastic. In the regular game, they are made out of wood. All right.
So once you've taken your starter resources, you essentially just kind of like tuck your cards underneath your board because that's the last time you will see those starting resources. Okay. So we'll explain it kind of as we go along, which is what we do. I don't know who gets to go first. We didn't really make a determination of that.
So you're going first.
Is it the first one to go trolling?
Yeah.
I think I went trolling on the internet with a comment on Instagram. So maybe I'll go first based off of that.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. The one cool thing in this game is, if you can get that book out of the way, the game changes every time, even though the board setup is static somewhat to begin with. You get to put out these different little, what are these things called?
Workshops.
You get to put out workshops, which are different each game. You get your different trolls, which, depending on how you activate them, will give you different powers. But the most like changeable part of the game, or mutable part of the game, are the spells. The spells kind of let you break the game, and when you break a spell, you put down a ruby on it, or what is it?
Rune.
A rune on it, and then you get to take the power. Once there are 3 runes on it, that spell card goes away. You bring out another one. So the spell cards that we have here are activate all your workshops in any order. That's outside of your actual turn, which is good. Select one troll in your troll mute and fill it up to its maximum resources, which is really good depending on, you don't want to have to, the only other way you get to activate your troll's mute or moat is by putting down additional trolls, so that can save you that action. This other one lets you trade out a level 2 troll for a level 3 troll, which is typically more powerful. Okay, to begin my game, I am yellow. I think I'm yellow.
Yes.
I do not really have enough resources to build, so I'm going to go ahead, and I have no money. The way that you get these trolls is you can take the ones from level 1 for free. To get one from level 2, you have to bribe the guys underneath with money. So if I wanted to take this guy, I would have to bribe this guy and this guy underneath. If I wanted to take the guy up top, I would have to bribe 5 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, anybody from a cascading effect down, you need to bribe with $1 worth of coin. When you collect a troll, so let's say that later on in the game, this guy has $2 on him. If I grab him for free, I also get the additional bribes that he has received. I have no money right now. I do not have a lot of options with that. I'm going to grab this guy over here, and I'm to my trolls mute, because he comes with 2 resources. Stone. Well, there's still resources. 2 resources and 1 blue cart. So I'm going to grab him.
So the carts are required to move your statues around from piece to piece.
Now, when you get a resource, you get all of the guys cascading down. Unless there's already a resource on it, you don't get to rebuild that. So I'm going to put down 2 stone, whatever those things are, a cart, an axe thingy. Which ones are these again? I really need to look this up. Iron. Okay, I'm going to look this up while you're playing. And that is my turn.
Alright, so for my turn, I am going to do something similar. Oh, and we do need to restock.
Yes. My bad.
So for my turn, I have 2 stone. So when you look at a board here, it's actually quite a handy board. It tells you exactly what you're allowed to do, and it tells you how you're going to score. So I can either cast a spell or use a workshop. So if I want to, I could activate one of these. Right now, they're not that beneficial. I can recruit a troll or dig 1 tunnel. So I'm going to do that. So I have 2 stone. I'm going to pay that. And I can look over here to see the shapes I can do. 2 is fairly straightforward. It is just 2 side by side. The little hole is where you can put a podium if you want to and move a troll on that later on. So I'm going to place that right here. And what that lets me do is I'm next door to a workshop. So I have the ability to grab any of these workshops. So I'm going to take this one. It allows me to trade in any 2 resources to get a hammer. When I activate this workshop, I'm allowed to use it as many times as I have paths leading into or out of it.
And that's your standard opening move. Would I say
Absolutely.
That's fair to say
if
that you do that every game?
Can get myself to a workshop in round 1, I will be there.
Yes.
Because it gives you the best options for the workshops, because in every game you have 2 workshops per player plus 1.
Okay.
And 2 players cannot share the same workshop.
On my turn, I'm going to take 3 stone. So I'm going to take them off of my troll to begin with. 2, 3, 4. I'm actually going to take 4. I have 4 in total. And I'm going to build the following. When you cover up a resource on the board, you get said resource. I'm going to get a stone and a coin back for doing this. You also get victory points based on the type of resource you use. I use a stone, which are like the easiest to get resource, so thus I get the fewest amount of points. I get 4 points for doing that with my little monster meeple. And I get my coin, and I get my stone. Those go onto my actual like player board, not on the trolls, because I ended up receiving those from the board, not from a troll.
Excellent. So, on my turn, unfortunately, the spells still don't do a whole lot for me. I can use my workshop if I want to. Right now, it's not that beneficial. So, I am going to do something similar to him, and I'm going to take another troll. So, looking around at my options, I think I'm going to take this one, because eventually, actually this one, because eventually I'm hoping to move this blue troll, so having a blue coat is going to be helpful. And on top of that, I would like to have an iron system going. So I'll get 1 iron for there, 1 for there. I will get a rune, and I will get a blue coat.
Okay. Refill. On my turn, I'm going to grab another troll. I'm going to grab this guy over here. He is free because he came from the bottom, so I will refill him right away. And now when I activate him, I will get one of the black resources. I will get a cart, which goes on orange. I will get a rune, and I will get an additional $1, all of which will live on my trolls. Now, with your trolls, you get to go up to 4 levels, and then you get 1 more turn and the game is over. So you only get so many trolls until you've pretty much ended the game.
Absolutely.
And that's the timer.
All right, so if somebody wants to be mean, they can fast play.
Yeah, there's benefits and disadvantages.
All right. So right now I have 3 resources, so I could build something. I have a hammer. But I really would like some more resources. So actually, I will build. I'll take my 3 iron. And no, I don't even need my hammer. 3 iron. My only options for 3.
So you get 4 victory points.
Exactly, I get 4 victory points because I used iron. And my only option is a little corner piece. So, unfortunately, where I want to place it, it doesn't get me anything.
Okay. That's it?
That is it for now.
I'm going to build with 3 of the black resources. That will get me 4 points. So I'll go from 4 to 8. I will use one of my hammers. And I'm going to go here. So what happens there is I get since I went through rock space, I had to pay that hammer. Otherwise, you have to pay 1 rock per hammer space. Otherwise, you can't do it. So I will put that there. He will go right on top where I grabbed him from. Additionally, I get 2 runes and 1 black back. At the end of my turn, the way the kind of turns work is you can either cast a spell and use a workshop. So you can use these spells up here. You can either recruit the troll and dig. Then you can dedicate a great hall, which basically means you've covered up enough spaces on your board that you can put one of these kind of space boards over it and gain the victory points. Or you can, as well as you can move your statue. But it costs a cart to move a statue. I'm going to move this blue with 1 cart, this blue statue, onto this piece. And the reason I'm doing that is so eventually he's at one step closer. I can just start working him in. The further up he is within the color scheme here, the closer he is to the center, the more points you will get at the end of the game. He also gets more points if he's standing on a base, but I don't have a base yet. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. Well, I'm almost out of resources, so I'm going to take yet another level 1 troll. I don't want a level 1 troll, but I have no money. So I'm going to take this guy. He doesn't give me any resources per se, but he does get me money. I have another blue coat, and I get 1 stone. Because I do not have any statues to move, that is the end of my turn.
Okay. On my turn, I'm going to spend $2, so 1 off of my troll, another one that was on my player board. I'm going to use these as bribes. I want to get some resources. And between these two, they each have their advantages. The differences are the color of carts I can move. This one gives me a black resource. This other one gives me a wild cart, which is nice in terms of flexibility, but then if you don't have enough resources, you can't move. So it's I'm going to go with the wild. Actually, no, I'm going to go with this one because it gives me an orange base, and I'm close to an orange troll. So I will bribe these two. They've been bribed. I'll flip that. I will take the base, put it on my player board. I'll take this troll and put him down. Now, the cascading effect will begin once again. So I will get 1, 2, 3 of those resources. I will get another hammer. I will get another coin. I will get a cart that goes
and an
on
iron.
the orange. And iron. Okay.
Oh, you do not have a blue coat, so you cannot move your statue.
I have nowhere to move him to either.
All right. So for my turn, I now have money, so I can bribe.
Excuse me.
Actually, when you take out a new level 2, you have to pick a random pedestal from the bag because they are selected at random. So now I can bribe.
Oh, there's one thing I forgot that I'm going to do now. I forgot to put down a workshop. Whenever you get adjacent to a workshop, you can put down a workshop. I will do that there. I should have done that 2 turns ago. Now
All right. I am paying bribes to these 2 fellows, and I am taking this one. So I'm going to start building this way because my tucking them in behind is not working. So, unfortunately, the ones below are full, but I didn't really have a choice as to where I was going to put them. So I get 3 stone and 2 cards, a blue and a wild. So here I need to make sure I'm aware of which card is which because only one can move any color of troll. The other one is color specific. You are up, sir.
Okay. So, I think I'm going to trade out one of my, because the workshop allows me to trade out, I'm going to trade out one of my fancier resources for a lowly silver one. And then I'm going to take all 5 of these. I'm going to build a 5. That gets me 5 points. So from 8 to 13. And I'm going to put it here. And the reason I'm going to get another silver back and $1.
A stone.
A stone and $1. And that's going to give me some flexibility, hopefully, in terms of getting guys out of there.
All right.
Statues out of there. Okay, your turn.
So, I finally have 4 resources, the same. So I'm going to use my 4 stone to get an L-shaped piece. May I have an L-shape, please? And 4 points.
Which one's an L shape? An L shape looks like an L, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this is a large L as well, technically.
All right. Well, so I'm going to put it here. I'm going to need 1 hammer, and I get a stone and a coin. Now, I have that. I pay my hammer, and I am going to now dedicate a great hall. So, may I have the great hall? That is 3 by 3. Thank you. So I have dedicated my Great Hall. My statue still stays where he is, but I can move him. Since he's blue, I have the opportunity to move him. So I'm going to use a blue coat. And I am going to move him to the center. So instead of scoring 6 points, I now score 15 points because I have the statue on the printed podium.
That's good. I guess on my turn I forgot to do something. I will go back and do it. Usually we put these great halls down on the board so we can see them. We'll just kind of leave them like that for now. Okay. On my turn, I'm going to trade out a gray resource for a black resource. I'm going to go by color. Easier for a guy like me. And now I'm going to spend 2 of them, and I'm able to do it because of my workshop. I'm going to spend 2 plus a hammer to build a 2. My 2 is going to go right there. And now I have my orange guy in there. I'm going to spend an orange cart now as part 4 of my phase to move this guy along this big long route to there. So now I'm starting to move these guys closer in to the center.
So I have some runes to use. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to fill one of my trolls up to the maximum resource level. So that allows me to get 3. Because my carts are still there, I do not get to refill that. So that's step 1. Step 2, I can either, which I did not refill, I can either recruit a troll, or I can build a tunnel. So right now I have 3 stone. I don't think that's quite enough. But without spending them, I cannot build my cascade effectively. So I will spend them. And with my 3, I need to find somewhere I can go where I don't need to dig a tunnel at the moment. So I'm going to build a 3. May I have a 3 piece? And then I will need...
Which one?
There's only one 3.
Okay.
And may I have 3 points, please? And you missed my last 4. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to get 2 runes. And now that I have 2 entrances into my workshop, I would be able to use it twice. Over to you.
Okay. Oh, that's going to be impossible for me to do. Okay, makes it easy. Okay, on my turn, I'm going to put a rune and a rune there. I get to fill up 2 trolls to their max capacity, so I'm going to fill up 2 trolls.
You may cast 1 spell.
So I might not want to do that. Period then. Okay, well, I get one of these back, so I should have 2 total. So that would leave me only casting a 3. I get to cast and I can use a workshop, right? Mm-hmm. Alright, so I'm going to cast 1 then. And I will take 3. 1, 2, 3, a black, and a cart. I'm going to trade out my black for an additional gray. So now I have 4 of these. So now that I have 4 and I have 1 hammer. I'm trying to think if there's a good way in with 4 and 1 hammer. And there is. I'm going to build that there for 4 and a hammer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That stays there. And a hammer.
Will you be using your podium at this time?
I might be. That gets me 4 points because I used the base resources. Now I have movements. So I think I'm pretty close to scoring. If I build on the podium here, I'm going to get 16 points. If I build on the podium here, I'm going to get 20. Not a gigantic issue. So I think I will just go ahead. I'm going to use my cart. Oh, sorry. When you place a piece down, you get to decide whether or not you put the podium on it right away. So I will put the podium on it right away. Then I'm going to move him onto the tile and onto the podium. Correct? That's how that works? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, great.
Did you use a card?
I did use my card off of here.
Excellent.
So at the end of the game, I will be able to score 16 points for doing that. As well, I should have done this before that. I'm going to dedicate a Great Hall. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll leave that 0-5 to Hall there. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, I need money. So I'm going to recruit this troll. Even though I don't really want this particular troll, I do want the money that comes with it. So, with that, I get to fill up my cascade. So I haven't had an opportunity to do a lot because I've spent a lot of time getting low-grade trolls. Not a great use of my time, but I'm kind of bound by the resources I have. So now that I've done that, I have my troll. I can move statues. I don't have any to move. So over to you.
Okay. My turn. I'm going to use this one last time. Basically repeat what I did last time. I'm going to take 3 of the gray, 1 of the black, 1 of the carts. And I'm going to trade out the black for another gray. So now I have 4 of these. Yes, that gets
So while he's doing that, I am switching out the spell because once a spell is used 3 times, you replace it with a new one. So this new one is place a size 2 tunnel anywhere on the mountain, even over rubble, not connected to any network. You may not place a pedestal on the tunnel's anchor. If this unearths statues and or resources, they go in the tunnel. If anyone later connects to this tunnel, it will become part of their network.
But it has to not be connected.
Correct, at this time.
Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to spend 4 in total. And I'm going to take one of these L's. And I'm going to build it down here. So I'm going to get a gray resource. And he goes back onto his little pedestal. So I'm going to get a gray. Then with my cart, I'm going to cart him up from this one to there. You pay a cart per essentially movement space. So that's the nice thing about her building this Great Hall. This counts as one entire block, whereas in some instances I'm moving like 2, 3, 4, whatever. But as of now, by moving this person into this space, this statue is worth 8 points. But if I can get him up that one more, he's worth 10. If I can get him onto a pedestal, he's worth 20.
All right.
So I have something to work towards.
Excellent.
Oh, I should have received 4 points for that.
So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cast a spell and I am going to build that 2 tunnel not connected to me. So, I'm going to build it right here. And I'm going to put a pedestal on it. You may not. Never mind. I cannot place a pedestal on it. But it is now my turn. So on my turn, I am going to dig a tunnel. So I'm going to dig a 4. So could you give me 4 points? I'm using stone. And could you give me the small L?
Okay. And we have 1 small L left, it looks like.
All right. So I'm going to gain 1... I'm going to gain 1 gray resource at this point. And you forgot to take your bonus for him.
Oh, you're right, yes.
So I get 1 gray resource.
So the first 1 to the certain sections on the board get the victory point chit matching by the color when you move somebody there onto a statue. So I was able to, onto a pedestal, I apologize. So onto a pedestal, I was able to get an orange in this section of the board. So that gets me this 3-point chit at the end of the game.
All right.
Are you done?
I am tout fini.
You're done?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm building up for some things in the next couple turns, I am going to go ahead And I'm going to bribe this troll here, and I bribe the guys underneath. I get a blue pedestal, and I'm going to put him here. Now, by putting him there, I'm now in little mini resource heaven here, because I've got just this gigantic cascade of gray resources, as well as hammers and blacks, money, and carts. As you can see here, these little player areas can get filled up pretty quickly. Okay, that is my turn.
All right. All right, so first I'm going to spend 1 rune to build myself something that is not connected. So I will do that. I will build it here. No, I won't. I will build it here because I don't have to worry about the rubble. And it states, if anyone later connects to this tunnel, it becomes part of their network. They own any statues and any resources and collect any resources there. So I can't do that because that's connected to me. So, can't have that. So I can go here, like so. It is not connected. If it is connected, fabulous. Right now, I am going to be building. I'm going to trade in 2 resources. Can you double check, are carts considered resources?
Yes, carts are considered resources.
Awesome. So I'm going to trade in 2 blue carts at my workshop. I cannot because I built a tunnel. I am not building this. I apologize. I'm going back. I'm throwing in 2 carts to use my workshop.
So you should take your gem off the rune.
I needed a hammer. So I'm going to trade in 2 iron and 1 hammer to build a 2. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to put my pedestal there.
And you get no points because when you build a 2, you get 0 points for it.
Yes.
Are you done?
I am finished.
Okay. Well, by her doing what she did there, I'm going to wait 1 more turn to potentially use that pedestal. I am going to spend some resources. I'm going to spend 3, 4, 5. As well, on my turn, I'm going to trade out... no, I'm not going to trade anything. Okay, so I'm going to spend 5 resources. And I'm going to build a 5. The 5 I'm going to build... is over here. So this will take 1 hammer. Build it right here. So I'm going to get $1, a red, and a black, and a workshop. He'll remain there. So it was $1, a red, and a black. And I also get to place down a workshop for a bonus going forth. And I think the bonus I'll take is that, which gives me some more flexibility to trade in reds for hammers. By building a 5, I receive 5 points, moving up to 26.
Are you moving anyone?
I think I will. I'm going to move this blue twice. Movement 1, movement 2. Slowly working them up into the higher rent district.
All right. On my turn, I am going to cast a spell. I can build a 2.
Oh, you grabbed the last 2? Oh, no, there's more 2s.
And there's a whole another stack. So I'm going to build a 2 Actually, no, because then he's not connected. I will build a 2 right here. Okay, then I am paying $2 to grab this troll. This troll is going to create quite the cascade for myself. So I'm going to gain 3 stone there and a blue cart. I'm going to gain an additional 3 there and another blue cart, a rune, another stone, $2, and an additional blue card. I wish I had a blue card to move.
Done? Yes?
Yes.
Now, when it comes to statues, I don't know. Can I just like move him past just another statue?
I think you have to go this way. I don't think you can move him through, but you can double check movement.
Can you look at that while I do my turn?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to take this last action before she takes it. I'm going to build a 2. And I'm going to build it up here like that. On my actual turn, I also have the ability to trade out. So I'm allowed to use 1 workshop. I'm going to trade out a red.
You cannot move through a workshop.
I get that.
Only 1 statue may occupy a single square at a time, but they may pass through.
I can pass through. Beautiful. Okay. So I did grab a hammer. I'm not going to use that yet, but now I have that as an option. So now as I'm looking ahead to building, to do what I want to do, I'm going to require 2 hammers. But I don't want to use much more than that, as I'm just kind of speaking aloud. Sorry, I'm just looking at my pieces here. I got cards to burn, I guess. Okay. On my turn, I'm going to build a... that doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, I'm going to build a 4. I'm going to take an L. I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to get a gray resource for my trolls. As well, by doing that, I can throw this down because I have covered up that many spaces. I am also, I guess on your turn, I can freely discard resources. I don't know if I want to do it, but I feel like I'm going to have to because I'm going to run out. I'm just going to be eating spaces. No, I'm going to wait. Your turn. I did a 4, right?
Yes. So I am going to... Oh, this has 3 gems on it.
Yep.
So we replace this one and we see what is new. So discard all of the trolls of 1 level of the horde and take up to 2 bribes from those trolls in your storage. Replace the troll with a new one from the correct deck.
That's going to need a pedestal.
All right. Well, I want to activate my workshop, so I'm going to trade in 2 runes for a hammer. Now I'm going to dig a tunnel. So I'm going to take... I need 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 stone will get me 5 points. I will take this 5. No, that is not the 5 I wanted. This is the 5 I want. So, my 5, I need my hammer to get my statue. So I need to pay that. And I now connect to a workshop. So I'm going to take this workshop here and I can move a troll. So I have one wild cart. I'm going to use that. And because this is only one piece away, I can move directly onto my pedestal. Because I'm the first white into this color, I get to take this, which is worth 4 victory points at the end of the game.
Done?
That is it for me.
See, I've let you hang around too long. That's not good. 1, 2. Recruit level 2. Mix resources, bribes, activate lucky workshops. Discard any blah blah blah. Okay. So I'm in a little bit of a resource bind here. So
which I'm in love with.
I think I'm going to spend 3 black. Yeah, I'll just spend 3 black. I'm going to build 3. And I'm going to build... I'm going to build over here. It's going to get me a black and a gray resource later on. Black, gray. And I get to put down the final workshop. And that will get me 3 points. As well, I'm going to trade out resources. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for a wild. So I'm going to trade out all those for 1 additional hammer. Okay, your turn.
I have 2 attractive options. I just don't know which one of them I want to take. Because it all depends on how long he is planning on hanging around. I only need 1 troll, and then I'm essentially calling the end of the game. So, knowing that, I think I am just going to buy a 4 piece and trade in. Ooh, that looks pretty attractive too, though. Yes, I'm going to buy a 4. So I'm going to first activate a workshop. I'm going to trade in my heartstone for 2 stone. Then I am going to use 2 more stone. Yes. 2 more stone. Oh, there's no more L pieces, is there? Are there? Well, both of my moves were anticipating an L-shaped piece. I guess I can build a 5. And I will go here. I'm going to trade 2 runes. Oh, I can only activate 1 workshop. Actually, pretend I did that. I can activate all of my workshops. Then I'll trade in 2 blue cards for 1 hammer. And this will go here. I will get a coin. I need to trade in 2 more cards for the additional. And my little ghoul statue goes here. I gain 5 points. But now I am 100% resource broke.
Done?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to trade out a black resource for gray. Then I'm going to take $2. I'm going to bribe Actually, I would rather bribe. I apologize. I would rather bribe this guy here, I think. Is that the guy I bribed originally? No. Oh, that is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Do I want the blue? No, I need to move my blue dudes. So I will take this. Okay. So he's going to go there. I got a white pedestal, and then I'm just going to basically, while Lisa goes, I'm just going to add all of my resources to my cascade.
All right, well, I'm going to use my $2. None of them have a white coat. So I'm just going to go here and get the white pedestal.
Okay.
So just like him, I'm going to fill up my resources. But in the meantime, it's over to you.
Well, now that will effectively set the timer at the end of the game. You have the rule book to see it's 2 turns per player or 1 turn for you.
Well, you were first player, right?
Two turns left in player order. Okay, so I have 2 turns to get moving.
And so do I.
So I am going to take 4. And I'm going to build a 4. Right. Ah, jeez, I miscalculated that, didn't I? Well, I have 3 hammers, so while I miscalculated it, what are you gonna do? So 1, 2, 3 hammers. Expensive. Now, I'm going to want to move some guys. I can move with a blue cart here. Oh, sorry. When I put that down, I would be able to put down a pedestal. Which would go there. I will move this blue from here, off of this piece onto that piece. He will jump right onto the pedestal. So that is one of my movements. I can trade resources. I'm only going to have 1 additional move left in this game. So I have to kind of figure out what am I going to try to do with it. This guy here is 1 space away from getting more points. This guy here is 1 space away. So I am allowed to move through these, correct? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to spend 1 orange to move him from this space into this space. And he can slide over to here. I think I will spend 1 more additional orange to get him off of this space onto here to try to free up some room that this guy can move. Yeah, that will be my turn, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do.
Oh, no, wrong one.
Wrong one?
Because you're not in the...
No, I'm in this one. Yep. Okay, that is my first of 2 final turns. Your turn.
See, I'm in a bit of a jam. He has 4 statues on his board. I only have 3. So right there, that is going to be a hard thing to compete with. So first, I am going to activate my workshop. And I'm going to trade in... Actually, I'm going to use a spell. Activate all of your workshops in any order. So first, I'm going to trade out my Heartstone for 2 stone. Now I'm going to build a 4. Now I'm going to trade in 2 stone. Actually, I'm going to trade in 4 stone. Because I have more than 1, I have 3 entrances, so I can activate that up to that many times. I have 2 hammers. So I'm going to spend 3 hammers, very expensive, and 4 stone to build a 4. Now with my 4, I am not connected to him, so I am still allowed to do this. I'm going to place my pedestal. And then I'm going to use my one wild card that I have to get him all the way there. So, though I don't get another bonus because he's the second white troll in that area.
How'd you get him all the way there?
He only takes one card.
Oh. That's a 20-point move.
Yes.
That'll win you the game.
It went from a 2-point statue to a 20-point statue.
Okay. My last move, I don't have much I can do. I'm going to trade out 2 black to do that. As well, I'm going to trade out 4 resources, which I have 4. So I guess it could just be these 4. For a cart, that will be wild. Oh, sorry, when I place this, I would have placed my pedestal there. Now my cart, he will move onto the pedestal.
And it's my turn?
Yes.
So I am going to first activate this little guy here to get a hammer. He's going to trade in 4 carts for 2 hammers. Which doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Then I'm going to use 2 iron and 1 hammer to build a 2. Can you give me a 2? I'm going to go here, which is going to get me an iron. But the sole reason I want to do this is to dedicate a Great Hall. So this Great Hall with nobody on it is worth 9 points. So my last 2 moves scored me 29 points.
That'll win you the game. Oh, did I get my points for building? I only built it 2. That's all right.
Did I get my points for building a 2 just now?
No, we don't get points for 2s.
Ah, you're right. Rats. Okay, so that is the end of In the Hall of the Mountain King. We're going to do a final scoring and see where we go from there.
Okay.
So
you can trade up to 4 resources for a point. Oh, no, they have to be how many of the same? 3 of the same? Trade in sets of 3 for a point. Now, can you make a set of 3?
I
can. You
cannot.
Can make yes, you can. You can trade out those 4 for 1 gold. So you can get... Lisa will get 1 additional point for having sets of 3. I don't have anything. I have 7 points based off of my end of game bonus. She has 4. And then it just becomes a matter of the Great Hall. So she's going to get 9, plus she's got a statue on there. So she's going to get 24 from doing all that. That takes you up to 54. I'm going to get 4 for just having an empty one. I was trying to get this person onto there. Would have been a higher percentage move. Okay. You get no points for that.
He's not.
And 2 of those, you're going to get 20. So another 40 coming your way. So from 54 to 94. I'm going to have a hard time competing with that. So now I'm going to get 4 for that one.
So just because your statue is on a pedestal doesn't make it worth a great deal.
Depends on where it is.
You really need to concentrate on moving them forward if you can.
Okay, so this guy just standing out here is just on like this darker, he's off the red.
So he's on the 6, right?
I think so. Let me move that. Yes. No, he's on the 6. Oh no, he's on the 8. He's on the 8.
Yes, he is on the 8.
So I get 8 points for him. So you still get points for moving them along.
So the orange one.
It's going to be 16.
Yes.
So that takes me
Same
up to
color.
72.
The
this
blue
one will be another 16.
Yes.
So that will get me to 86.
And then the other guy's 10. So you're going to be at 96.
Boom.
So in the end, he did catch me.
I think I missed 2 points too. But nonetheless, yeah, so you can get a lot of different points a lot of different ways. But Lisa always plays this well. I guess we can just kind of go into like strategy and tactics. She always does a very good job of being aware of these. I kind of just forget those and just kind of build willy-nilly.
Yeah, my goal is always to try to meet those shapes and try to fill in my gaps. So I'll sometimes spend more time, even though it's a full action, to buy a smaller piece if I can fit it in. The hammers are extremely tight in the game unless you pick the cards from the Trolls Mute based on hammers. I find they're quite tight unless you get a workshop. So sometimes they can dictate your whole game because you can't take the path you want. You have to kind of build smaller out so that you can get around the areas that need hammers. And then it also becomes a game of what pedestals come out. If the pedestals you want come out, then it's easy just to continuously take level 2 trolls. The level 3 trolls come with a wild pedestal. So if you need a specific one and they're all blue and no one's taking them, it's worth going up to that 3rd level. Also, there are better resources. So if you can afford it, but it does cost $5 to buy one, whereas those 2nd level trolls, which are pretty good and come with a pedestal, are only $2. So often it's worth it just to take those level 2s from my perspective.
For sure. Well, I always put you on a pedestal, so we already have that happening already. I agree with what Lisa said there. As you can see in this game, there's a couple of these number 1 guys who are sitting down here $5, $3. I assume when you play with more players, that isn't going to happen because the money now, if you grab this 5, you could right away jump up here and grab your level 3 troll, your $5 bribes. I find that, as she said, that's going to dictate your game, the rush on these great halls, but the spells really play out. We both played a lot of the spells. We got through 2 of them pretty quickly. The other ones weren't as interesting to us, so we kind of let them be. With more players again, I still think you only bring out 3 spells, so you're going to be churning through those a little bit quicker. There's going to be a little more competition for them. Let's just jump right into the replayability review. I just briefly discussed the spells, and I think the spells do help the replayability of the game because it helps differ each game from one another, and it kind of, those break the rules of the game. But for the most part, at least playing with 2 people, it's a little bit multiplayer solitaire, because like if these trolls differ, but they don't differ drastically to the point where if she grabs one, I can get another one that's maybe not as good, but still pretty good. And somebody might get ahead to these with 2 players again. With the spells, one person logically should be able to place a spell twice. The other person will at least get to go in once, and then the spell goes away and another one comes out. There is a little bit of a rush on the pieces and everything, but I just feel like we're both kind of playing a solo-ish game together at the table.
Especially when, like, here we actually built towards one another. Mm-hmm. But if you want to, he could have built down one side, I could have built up the other side. So then it's basically the interaction we have is watching the speed that someone is collecting trolls. Because you can play extremely fast and have this game over very quickly by just taking level 1 trolls. Because if you are stuck on level 1 trolls, you run out of resources so quickly that you need to get another troll in order to get your flow effect in restocking your resources. So it can go very slow if you're very meticulous as to how you use them and how you gain resources on the board. But overall, I find, especially in a 2-player game, the game's really not that long. He enjoys this game a little bit more than I do, I think, from a replayability aspect. I find I'm basically doing the same thing every time because there's not a lot of, interaction between the 2 of us. I'm just playing my own game, and I love games where I'm interacting and I'm not going to say I'm in love with conflict, because I do get mad at him if he gets in my way.
Are we talking board games? Okay.
But overall, I like the game. It's a fun little theme of, my idea is kind of like you're mining, you're uncovering these statues, and you're moving them around the board. So there's some interesting little mechanics that way. But overall, for me, I think we've played this game 6 or 7 times now.
Probably 8 number here, nonetheless. Yes.
And I find, yes, there's still some more game. Maybe if we're playing it with more people, I would enjoy it more. But it's one that I personally don't think goes the distance, whereas you have a bit of a different opinion.
No, I can see all of your points. I think primarily as a 2-player game, I don't feel that it goes the distance in terms of replayability in our collection. We do have the solo expansions. We have not opened that up yet. I've heard some interesting things online about how it can be a little bit swingy and difficult to beat. There is a co-op as well, but I think for the most part, yeah, if we were playing with more groups and it was a year without COVID, I think 3 and 4 players would probably be the sweet spot. That's what BGG says as well. There's the other side to the board. I would not say it is a bad game. I wouldn't turn down a game of this unless I was playing with really AP prone people, because you could definitely get into an AP space with this game. Enjoy it. I'd give it a good 6.5 to 7, but now with just so many good, amazing games out there, I'd rather reach for that game that's like an 8, 9 out of 10.
Absolutely. So overall, good game, quality game mechanics, just not the perfect fit for us.